Well, now you've whip stitched this to the frame, all four sides, the best way you can. I'm kind of all thumbs with sewing, so whatever works for you. And it'll be a tot. You can kind of see the lines a little bit, it pulls. And this isn't like straight across at the top. That's okay. And even if you do lines on your drawing, you just draw across and they'll all be fine when you're done. You don't like curve up to the curve of the silk. Just keep your lines straight when you do draw. And you can see how it is all the way down on the frame. And then we're ready to go to the next step. Now when you lay it on the table, there is a hem. Sometimes I didn't notice it in the beginning. But there is a slight hem and it curves to the back. So you want that underneath. So then you'd lay it on the surface you're going to be working on. And we're ready to do, and I also look to see which end maybe looks the straightest. So this one end looks straighter than the other. So I'm just going to start my drawing from the end. And your picture, the most important thing is near the hoist or near the pole of where you're going to have your objects. Like if you have a kingdom and then your shire or your household, your kingdom would be first. Now in this particular standard, I'm doing for the kingdom of Glen Abham. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. It might be a Gaelic word. And their device is a ram. And then I've learned something that when you make these for personal use, you do not use the wreath on any of these. You don't use the wreath because that denotes you are the seneschal of a shire or the baron of a barony or the king or queen of the kingdom if you have the wreath. So I've had to research and look up populace badges for different baronies, shires, and kingdoms. And this is the one that I'm going to be doing. And when I was researching this, it's a fun thing. I learn about the other kingdoms. I think we tend to be interested in our barony or shire, and let alone all the ones in our kingdoms. And then there's all the other kingdoms in the SCA. So this has been a grand adventure for me to learn and meet people all of SCA wide. So I have this width now is a little less than 15 inches. So I took this picture of the ram and I went and enlarged it. I try to make it as big as possible so it can be seen nicely on the standard. So you go to a print shop and I tell them how long to make it. Like I almost do, well, like I told them, 15 inches I have it written on here. And then I, even though it shrinks a little bit, I just try to make it all, it kind of fits with the edge. Then I put the picture underneath. Then you put the enlarged picture under the silk. And I give a little border along the edge. Oh, that's about 3 inches. And I look at my inspiration picture to see how it's angled. You know, I don't want the head too far or the foot back. And you can see when you press on here how I'm going to be tracing this, and it shows through very nicely. I can draw some very simple things, but I mostly trace, and I have learned one set of lettering so I can write a motto or a word on the standard if it's needed. So I'm going to, this just barely fits on here, but I rather have it nice and big so people can see it. They'll know who's there. And this is going to be for a book consultation table at the Gulf Wars for next year. And the person wanted some heraldry at their consultation table, which I totally think is wonderful. So now I line up my silk as best I can so it matches the angle, and you can move your frame around. And I put the Scotch tape down to hold the picture, and now I'm ready to trace this. And I leave the picture here so I can see what I'm doing, and I can see it pretty good underneath. I just get a regular pencil, and I start at the top and start tracing. And you don't want to make a lot of strokes like you're sketching or something, because every pencil mark will show on here. So you want one pencil mark, and then we're going to cover that later with our outline Gouda resist material. So when I look at this goat here, here's a section of the ram horn, and I'm just going to start tracing. And it comes around like that, and there's the ram horn. And then the head comes around, and I'll get the head shape, and then I'll go back and make like a circle here in the black for the nose and outline the mouth area. And I'm do the eye. I love doing eyes and claws. I found out I love eyes. I'll probably put a red eyeball on this. Now I've outlined the design on the banner with a pencil, and I need to trace 95% of my things I trace. So we've got the ram traced on the silk. You just get an enlargement at your local printers. And the rest of the banner, this particular one, will have the herald trumpets, because this is going to be used at a book consultation table or any herald's point. It'll let people know if you need to get messages or study your devices or get names. That'll be a herald's contact. So it'll be the next step we are going to do will be to outline it, and I'll show you how that works right now.